What up? So, today is January the 9th. It is Thursday, 2025.
2025.
Today I want to talk about the subject of mental health. Conversations. Convos with yourself. Self-talk. Talking to yourself. It has a therapeutic use. In our society, we label people crazy who talk to themselves. But the reality is, there's a lot of people in society that talk to themselves. Some don't necessarily have a whole conversation back and forth. Some do. But a lot of people, just for example, if a person's under some type of anxiety or stress and they're going through a challenging situation, at some point you talk to yourself. You tell yourself it's gonna be all right. Or even if you say something negative, you say, oh shit, this is scary. You're talking to yourself. Who's the self? That self is your true self, the inner you. There's a purpose for it. I say that to say that if you get caught up in how things look and how people perceive you, how are you ever going to get to know you? How are you ever going to really see things for what they are? So, do you guys talk to yourself? Do you have conversations? When you don't feel like going to work, do you give yourself a pep talk? Like, fuck, I don't want to do this. Okay, well, remember, we got these bills to pay. Yeah, it's going to be a long ride there. But it'll be all right once we get there. It'll be all right. We can do this. I can do this. We can do this. I know I do. I have to. Because I don't always have someone to talk to. Yeah, I'm blessed with a twin, but he ain't always there. We got our own lives. You know? Or you could get a therapist too, but I prefer to talk to myself because nobody knows me like me. In California, especially here in Long Beach and in LA, with the homeless situation, a lot of people got mental illnesses. You know, they got mental health issues and stuff. And a lot of that, I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. I stay downtown. I hear it all the time. You know, just lashing out. People going through stuff. People that are particularly living on the street, going through all kinds of stuff. Man, as we all know, there's a gang of shit going on in the world right now. Some pretty unbelievable shit. We are right now in Long Beach, and there's an advisory for the air.
In LA County, period.
In LA County.
The air quality is
the air quality
really
advisory.
bad.
They suggested not to even come outside and breathe the air.
Right. How the fuck?
But this is the reality. The reality is we got to be out here.
The show must go on either way.
So with that said, the show must go on. So you have to fucking talk to yourself to get yourself through this shit.
Right.
I personally today had a very challenging day. In a lot of different ways. It hit me first thing in the morning. And it didn't get better. It just got worse. After the other. One after the other. But I had to talk to myself. I had to tell myself. It's got to give at some point. Yeah, I assume this is a part of the process. You know? It could be worse, and I'm very grateful for everything. But I had to talk myself through it today. It was really, really rough. But I'm still here. And I'm giving y'all this message because I know there's other people out there that probably went through the same exact thing today.
And if you did, let us know in the comments. Tell us. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you went through. As far as this self-talk stuff, from my perspective, is like, that's the best kind of talk, you know? It's self-therapy, I guess, in a way. And when he's talking about the mental health part of that, at what point is talking to yourself considered crazy, right? We see it all the time in the street. And like he was saying, when he talks to himself, I'm pretty sure you don't consider it crazy, right?
I don't consider myself crazy. No.
Right, but the people we see in the street all the time, or like the people we work with, we both work with people with mental illnesses, right? And they're considered crazy. They're considered crazy. Let's use that word, and they talk to themselves. You ask them, they'll say, or some of them might say they talk to somebody else, but some of them talk to themselves. And it's like, at what point is talking to yourself considered crazy? At what point, Or is it crazy at all? Because we all do it. We all do it to some extent, right? So, that's something that's always kind of been on my mind, and I'm wondering, what do you think? What's crazy to you? Or is it crazy at all to talk to yourself? And when you do talk to yourself, what are you talking about? What's the conversation look like? I want some answers in the comments. Let me know, because I'm always kind of perplexed and confused on that. Self-talk, talking to yourself, especially in public, right? So, yeah, self-talk, talking to yourself.
Talking to yourself, having conversations with yourself is completely healthy. Regardless of what people think, it's healthy because your voice is the best voice. Right. These days, I don't really ask too many other people about things when it comes to me. I ask me. Do I answer back? In ways I do. The universe answers back. When I ask questions, I get an answer. I may not hear a voice back. Some people do. But I get an answer. It makes sense to me to ask myself than to ask anyone else. I know exactly what I'm going through. I know what I need. My higher self knows the journey. My higher self knows the path, how to get there. So I don't have to stress over it. I don't have to fucking overthink every detail about how to get what I need out of life. I ask myself questions. I talk myself through things.
How do you receive the answers, though?
Sometimes through meditation. I might get an image in my head. Sometimes I just listen to the first thing that my mind tells me to do. And then listen to the next one. And then I listen to the next one.
When you hear that answer, do you hear it in an actual voice, like auditory?
Not really. I have heard that before.
Was it in your voice?
Yeah, to be honest. I have, though. But that usually happens like right before I'm about to go to sleep or something. Or in the middle of a meditation.
Wow.
But sometimes it's just a voice. I don't know where it came from, or I don't necessarily even recognize it as a voice even. It's just words or something, like I might even hear it in a song. I might hear it in a song.
Definitely have. Or you might sometimes hear it in a conversation that might be going on around you.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you'll get that answer through a conversation you have someone that's
Right.
close to you.
Right.
A lot of times I get that, but you're right, I do hear it in music a lot as well. You might even get it sometimes, get that answer from that question you had earlier through a movie you was watching.
Yeah.
I get that sometimes too. But I think self-talk really is like talking to God. I think it's like talking to God.
I agree.
I think it is talking to God. For those that know what I mean, let me know what you mean. Let me know, what I'm talking about in the comments. But that's what I've always seen self-talk as, is talking to God. But,
That's something I like to do. I like to come out here by the water. Water is another. Water is a way of gaining clarity. Water represents reflection. Water represents flow. Water represents clarity. So if you have any questions and you want to talk to yourself, if you don't want to talk to yourself, talk to the water.
I do that too, for sure. I've done it many times for the answers I couldn't get, but the questions I had and the answers I needed, I came to the beach, talked directly to the water, as if I'm talking to my best friend, or as if I'm talking to God.
We're Pisces. We're water elements.
So that's our connection anyway.
So I have a natural connection with the water.
For real beach babies.
I'm a real beach baby.
Yeah.
From Venice.
Venice.
Here in Long Beach though.
Out here in Long Beach. Venice though, yeah. It's still water shit though, That's our connection. But that's another form of communication, another form of
It's another therapy.
conversation.
So if you got anything going on, man, if you have an anxiety attack, or you're scared, you're frustrated like I was today. Because I absolutely had no idea what to do. I don't know. Sometimes it's just out of your hands. Sometimes shit can be beyond you. Can't nobody help you through it. You just gotta either just push through. And when you make it through this day, the next day will come, God bless, and you do the same thing. You get through. Because truthfully, I feel like I may have a rough week ahead. Or maybe even a couple weeks. It's rough, but it's not impossible to get through. I know that. But I was just frustrated because it's been frustrating for a minute. It's been challenging. And I just feel like sometimes, can I get a goddamn break? You know? But I assume it's coming. I really don't have no real reasons to complain. So I'm not really complaining, but I'm just expressing the fact that sometimes this shit will get too heavy. Or it'll feel like it's too heavy. You know? It can pile up on you, man. So you got to find a way to get that out. Talk to somebody. I prefer to talk to myself. You guys should try it. You might get some clarity on things.
Yeah. Let me know what you think as far as these conversations with yourself and what kind of conversations you're having. You know, right now, I mean, in a sense, we're having a conversation with ourselves now. Let's look at it like that. You know, as twins, identical twins. I feel like he's a reflection of me.
Yeah.
Yet and still, we're basically having conversations with ourselves. Maybe that's all we're ever doing, you know, even with another person. Because really everybody is a reflection of yourself in some way, right?
Yeah.
I believe that anyhow. Right. So with that said, maybe that's all we're ever doing is having a conversation with ourselves.
You ain't doing no different anyway.
Yeah.
You know? So with that, that reminds me, like, to not take life so seriously, man. Today was kind of overwhelming for me. And I just had to shut down, man. I had to not care about how things are going to turn out. Or what somebody might say, or how I'm going to get to the next situation that I'm trying to get to. How I'm going to do it may not matter right now. The only thing that matters right now is in this moment, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I got everything I need. And that's all that matters. So I shouldn't take it so seriously. There's a lot going on right now, man. Sometimes it's too much for me to even talk about. It doesn't make sense to necessarily even to drag it on by talking about how uncomfortable it is and how painful it is. I need to focus my energy to something more lighthearted. So I'm out here talking to y'all, getting this off. I'm out here enjoying this beautiful day.
Also, I think another way to sometimes make things lighter is simply change the conversation.
Yeah.
Change the conversation, change the energy, you know what I mean? If you want the energy to change, you want the situation to change the conversation. It can be that simple sometimes. I've seen it many times, you know?
So yeah, I don't want to take this thing too seriously, man. You shouldn't either. You guys shouldn't take yourselves so seriously. There's enough serious shit going on.
As we can see.
So maybe it will help you to take things a little bit lighter. Play a little bit more, man, because we don't know. This thing ain't promised. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen in the next hour. I refuse to let what happened today dictate the rest of my life or my day. I got a moment to change that and laugh. So laugh more. Laugh. Find something to laugh at, man. Life is meant to be played. This shit is a play. They say this shit is an act. They say this shit ain't... I've heard some people say this shit ain't even really real. They say it's an illusion.
Right.
If that's the case, then just play. I don't care how serious it is. I don't want that to be my last moment. I want my moment to be filled with joy. I want my last to be filled with laughter, appreciation for the moment.
Speaking of that, if today was your last day on this earth, what would you do? What would your thoughts be about? What would your conversations be about? You know, let's pretend for a minute that this is your last day today, at this time. And we only got 24 hours in this day. What would you do right now? What would you say? Who would you talk to? You know, let me know in the comments. I want to know.
So I suggest making a list. Like we said yesterday, take inventory. I challenge you to make a gratitude list every single day. Either write it down on paper or just look around you and think about it. Stop and think about all the things that you're grateful for and make a list of it. You know what I mean? Take inventory on everything that's good in your life. Maybe even the bad. If you're really challenged, if you really want the challenge, be grateful for the bad stuff too. Because it could be worse. That thing you think is bad could be somebody's worse.
It always gets worse. It always can get worse. I'm gonna say it like that. It can get worse. And like he said, what's bad for you could be a good day for the next person. You know. I don't know if you should be comparing your situation to the next person's situation, but if that helps you, go ahead and do that. You know.
So yeah, walk through this life fearlessly, man. Because there really ain't too much you can do about these life challenges, man. These challenges are gonna come. You know, I take this shit day by day.
Right.
You know, we hope for the best, but sometimes unforeseen things happen, like it did for me today.
Guarantee it will. That's what life is.
Do I break down and let that dictate the rest of my day? No. I accept it. You accept life challenges. Accept it. Don't be a coward. Yeah, it may be scary, it might be rough, man. But if you face it, you'll get through it, man. Maybe not immediately, but one moment at a time. One moment at a time. That's a win. Remember, every time you got past that last challenging thing, that's a win for you. That's a win. You ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. That's not a loss. A loss is a lesson. If you let it be.
Right. You know, which, okay, let's touch on that. Loss is a lesson. Which, and the only way to really see that as a lesson is means you would have to be mindful.
Shit crazy. Shit going off.
I'm sorry, guys, if something happened on that video. It was an emergency warning again. Like we were just talking about earlier with this air quality situation. It's been going off a lot. Every single day we've been getting that.
All the evacuations and shit.
Right. It's crazy. But look, let's get back to what we was talking about, with perspective, right? Being able to see things a certain way, you're going to have to change your perspective a lot of times, you know? From moment to moment, even in life. We have to change our perspective if we want to see things and experience certain things the way we want to see them, the way we want to experience them. It means you have to change your perspective. So, keep that in mind, you know?
Try to take the perspective of life as a game.
Right. Right.
You could be more playful.
Right.
You know? What other choice you have? There is another choice, you know. You can go down the dark road and obsess over everything that went wrong. Sure, I'm almost guarantee you that it's gonna get worse after that. So just try to treat it as a game. Laugh, man. Like today, like I said, I shut down today. I shut down. I only have room for laughter today, and to be of service to y'all. Give you the insight that I might have. Maybe you can gain something from what we say today. That's what we're here for, y'all, to connect. You don't have to go through this shit by yourself. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Because we know that there's people out there. We know you guys out there. There's anybody out there. There's a person out there right now going through something right now, very challenging, and you don't know what to do. You don't have the answers right now. But the answers lie within you, though. They're there. But maybe you got to get up off it for a little minute, for the answers to come to you. It's in the silence, you know? Give it a minute.
Right. Like you said, sometimes to get those answers, though, it happens in silence, but sometimes it also happens with those conversations with yourself. Definitely. It's going crazy, man. It's trail. What's going on in LA?
Damn. See? So we'll say that to say, we got plenty that we can sit here and focus on. We got plenty to be stressed out about, you know, nervous, fearful, angry, frustrated like I was, right? But we're here for a reason, and that's a gift in itself, man. I got the air in my lungs, I got clothes on my back, I got a roof over my head.
Not to mention we got this great view.
We got this beautiful ocean in front of us.
Right.
I'll take it, man.
Yeah.
I love this shit. I love y'all. I love myself.
Stay up.